Thanks for the invitation to Jenny and Isabel, and thanks for everybody for being here. We are going to talk today about resilience in design within this framework of the Barcelona Design Week, within this matter of creative resilience. Resilience and design. I will begin by the second of the words. What is design? Design is both a set of skills and a mindset, according to the Design Council from UK. A particular way of thinking about a problem, putting pieces together to achieve a function, a creative meaning that leads to new ideas. It uses our head that allows us to frame the right questions, explore types of knowledge, and take a creative and daring leap towards an answer. It uses our heart that tells us that we must sympathize and use our empathy, and it uses our hands. This is the definition of design that the Design Council from UK is using, and this is the definition that in the seminar that we developed with Elisaba last year, we decided to use for design. And the first word, what's resilience? And here we went to the Real Academy of the Spanish language. And according to this academy, resilience comes from the Latin resilio, that is the capacity of a living being to adapt to a disturbing agent in an adverse situation. And here it's easier to explain that in English, because then is when it comes these words, to turn back, to bounce back, to jump back. And how do we jump back? It's very difficult. And then we began to think, how do we do it? And then it's when it came this idea of the compression spring logic. And with Carlos Mansilla, that was one of the students of Elisaba, and also with Ariane Alzola, we began to draw. And as you see, some of the drawings are really a compression spring. But some of the drawings are also a butterfly that is related to spring. And some of the drawings are also the icon of an infinite that is linked with the circular idea of resilience. When you recover, when you bounce back, when you enter again in the world once you have been confronted to hardship. And as Diane Cotu said when she tried to explain how resilience works, some people snap and some people snap back. People that snap back, according to Diane Cotu, use 3 tricks. They face down reality, they search for meaning, and they continually improvise. And this is one of the ideas we try to apply when we began to think about how to use these kind of schemes to the framework we wanted to imagine for resilience for design. And then there is the context, as Jenny was explaining, and that is one of the reasons why we are here.
The slide presents a visual model for economics and sustainability, known as the donut economics model, that was created by economist Kate Raworth. The inner ring is the social foundation. This is the floor. It represents the minimum standards of life that no one should fall below. Includes essential human needs like food, water, health, education, and of course, a political voice. The goal is to lift everyone out of the hole in the middle and ensure all people have access to these basics rights. The outer ring is about ecological sailing. This is the roof. It represents the planetary boundaries we must not exceed, such as limits on climate change, freshwater use, or biodiversity loss. Crossing these lines causes severe environmental degradation. So the safe and just space for humanity is the donut itself, the green area between this social foundation and the ecological sailing. And for this, resilience can be a tool. According to Oxfam framework, this tool is about absorption, the capacity to implement intentional protective actions and face critical situations, adaptation, the ability to make gradual, intentional adjustments in anticipation or in response to change, and transformation, the capacity to make an intentional change to stop or reduce the causes of any risk, addressing systemic changes. And here where it comes the resilience equation I invented. It's more than an equation, it's an aphorism. And you can see there the 3 Ps that are the triple bottom of the sustainability concept, people, planet, and prosperity. And if we count on risks, we definitely will have the concept of resilience.
Then, with the students, we were asked, okay, but how? We are going to make a design that considers resilience in their process. And we began to think, okay, let's go for steps, for iterative loops, because resilience and design is a process, and it will come with iterations because we are going to be always learning on the way. And we thought on these steps that come with empathize, with unlearn, with anticipation, and then with some steps that are more usual in all the processes: operate, impact, reporting, storytelling, and narration that link again with this emphasize. We discovered with the student that the first steps are more and totally related with resilience, and the other steps are perhaps more related with any design process. And this was our first attempt of trying to apply a resilient process to a design. What will come next? We don't know, because we are trying to see in the following years what's going to happen with this scheme, framework, mindset way of working. So far, we have tried to see how this framework applied to different projects, and we have several case studies. Yes, I'm going to show the titles, because you can see in the booklet of Resilience in Design. And there are very different. One project about regenerative ecosystems in Romania, one project about recovering wood and cladding in Chile, one project about how to build roads on permafrost in Siberia, defining the map of risk in the city we are here today in Barcelona, an office working and design with healthy materials in Palo Alto, humanitarian shelter in Burundi. As you can see, the framework can be applied to many, many different scales, geographical areas, and different projects, ecosystem services payment in Burkina Faso, vineyards for wine sector in the Mediterranean here in the Penedès, biodynamic agriculture, indoor smokeless kitchens in Nepal, and violets that will be made out of cells, researching now by a team in Germany. Let us go forward together and design a world that not only snaps back, but springs forward. Thanks.